So Justin Gaethje gets it done by the most unexpected way. He head kick Leon Edwards style out cold Dustin Poirier in the second round. Crazy. Out of all the things I could have predicted, I thought that Gaethje was going to go in there and break down Poirier. A new patient Gaethje was going to go in there and just leg kick, be smart at range, pick his shots, not be so aggressive and willing to just trade with Poirier like in the first fight, but go in there and just be totally prepared for, I think, a more tit for tat style. And that was somewhat true in the first round, but I never, ever predicted a second round head kick KO. Out of all the options I thought of, a head kick was one of the last things that I thought would happen, especially Poirier going out cold, and he was kind of due for it, honestly. But let's first talk about the fight and how it went. The first round was pretty close, pretty tit for tat. I think I had Gaethje slightly ahead, but I gave the round to Dustin Poirier because he landed one good, I believe, left hand that cut open Gaethje and visibly wobbled him. So I gave Poirier that first round, but I think overall Gaethje showed to me that he has developed his style. This new Gaethje is true. He actually, after the first Poirier fight, fixed his game. He said, no more of this be Mr. Super Exciting guy. He still is exciting, by the way, but not this, rock and soccer robot type of guy. He's going to go in there and have a smarter approach is what I mean. He's going to go into these fights and have a smarter approach, be a bit more out of range, use his footwork, use more head movement, and not just shell up and just take shots around the guard. And he, honestly, I think outlanded Poirier. Let me check the stats real quick. And yeah, I'm actually right. Justin Gaethje did outland Dustin Poirier 33-27 in that first round, but he did get rocked and wobbled and had a cut over his eye. So visible damage does go to Dustin Poirier. But he showed to me that his style has improved to be able to hang with Poirier in the first round. Landed some good outside leg kicks. I believe landed 7 in that first round. I don't know how many exactly, but he definitely was, I think, getting the better of Poirier throughout the entire first round, besides that one punch that he landed. And the second round, it was the same thing. Actually, Poirier didn't even land a single significant strike in the second round. It was all Gaethje, and Leon Edwards style pulls out that right hand, lands it on Poirier, and then follows it up with a head kick, lands flush. Poirier saw it coming, but the guard just wasn't enough. The one hand, the foot wraps around the back of the head and just sends him down Looney Tunes style out cold. Dustin Poirier was fighting Herb Dean's arm with one eye closed. He was visibly out cold. It was done. It was over. I didn't think we would see Poirier go out cold again. After Michael Johnson, I know it was, at the time, it was crazy, but I thought Poirier's chin had recovered well, and he's taken some clean shots against McGregor, against Chandler. I didn't think that Gaethje would be able to put him out completely. I thought he might TKO him against the cage, maybe wobble or hurt Poirier, but I never thought he would actually send him down out cold. And let's go, baby. I'm right. I predicted it. This new Justin Gaethje, it would outclass and he would be better than Poirier, and that proved it. Elevation didn't matter. Happened in the second round. It was too early. This Gaethje actually just fair and square put out Dustin Poirier, and I'm not gonna hide anymore. I'm gonna get right to the cappage. Me and Gaethje right now are smoking on that Poirier pack. I swear to God, we are. I am so happy. I really dislike Poirier. I think his ego is, I hate it so much. I really dislike Poirier's ego. After the Max Holloway fight, he was like in the back room saying, oh, find him in the locker room. He's pretty busted up right now. Like, bro, come on. The Chandler fight, the Dan Hooker fight, like, Poirier's ego has always been pretty inflated after wins. He's been the worst sore winner I've ever seen in MMA sports, and all fighters have an ego. Every single fighter that you see, you talk to, they all have an ego. But for me, Dustin Poirier's one is the one I dislike the most. I just can't stand Poirier. So I am on my high horse. I'm going to ride this out for the rest of the week. It's going to make my week 10 times better. But he deserves it, man. I mean, from now on, I won't shit on Poirier no more. Or anymore, sorry, that's a better English. I won't shit on Poirier anymore because, that head kick carried all of my feelings and all of my disdain for Poirier, and putting him out cold and seeing him out cold makes my day. It makes my week. So I'm happy. Gaethje though, yeah, Gaethje. What do we do with him? I don't know. What we're gonna do with Dustin Gaethje? What's gonna happen with him? He can't fight Islam, so I don't know. I mean, because we have Oliveira versus Islam happening in October, so we might see Gaethje just wait an entire year again, like after he beat, I believe it was Chandler. He waited an entire year to fight Oliveira, I believe. So we might see a inactive Gaethje again that will only fight once a year because he needs his title shot. But in my honest opinion, I would prefer him versus the winner of Dariush versus Sarukian. But we can't have that, because if Oliveira does manage to pull off the win against Islam, they're going to run it back. The UFC is going to run back Oliveira versus Makhachev again. And I guess if Makhachev wins, then we can have Gaethje versus Islam. But I don't know. That would be the most fair matchup, I guess. But again, like, the options aren't quite there for Gaethje right now. And for Poirier, I have no idea. I think he should retire, honestly. I think his run title is pretty much done. I don't see Poirier getting back to a title shot anytime soon. Definitely, if he wants to keep fighting, feed him to an up-and-comer. I want to see him versus Fiziev, but he's fighting Gamrot. But I want to see him versus Fiziev, a Sarukian, a Dariush. Feed him to a guy. Don't give him some nice matchup like a Dan Hooker. Please, UFC, don't do that. Do not reward Poirier. He lost. So give one of these guys who have been floating outside the top 5 a chance to get into that top 5 again. So hopefully we can see Poirier versus somebody who deserves a jump up in the rankings. I want to see that as soon as possible. Obviously, he needs some time off. He just took a flat-out KO loss, so don't get him back in there immediately unless he wants to. I wouldn't suggest that for Poirier, but I wouldn't mind seeing him get KO'd out cold again if that's the case. But I think for the best thing about Poirier, we should probably give him some time off and find somebody that's higher up in the rankings that deserves a shot to be in the top 5. To Poirier, we need to start feeding them to some of these up-and-comers. We need some more fresh meat in the lightweight division, the top 5 of lightweight. But overall, I'm gonna rub it in a little bit, just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and take my little stroll around the park. I'm gonna, rub it in some guys' faces in my comment section. It sucks being a YouTuber sometimes because, if you get a pick wrong, it gets more views and people just shun you. But if you get it right, nobody says a thing, so I'll get 0 credit for this no matter what happens. But to the people who thought I was wrong, I'm gonna rub it in just a little bit because you'll do the same to me. It's equality out here on this channel. This is an equality channel, and we deliver what we receive. You get what you deserve. It is what it is. But crazy, it's craziness. Gaethje, Poirier. Honestly, this whole card delivered, in my opinion. 21 was a great card. Elevation wasn't much of a factor in any of the fights, probably besides the Pereira versus Blachowicz one. That was the only fight that I ever saw that really anybody gassed. Other than that, the card was, not as bad, not as sloppy as I thought it was going to be. I was expecting this card to be one of the more sloppier cards with guys gassing all over the place, but turns out everybody was somewhat prepared for the elevation, But overall, didn't play a factor. Wasn't much in this fight against Gaethje and Poirier at all either. And yeah, I don't know. Gaethje wins by head kick KO. Craziness. I'm out of here, guys. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching up to this point. I surely do appreciate it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as that bell icon for notifications. I do stream the cards every weekend, so if you want to catch me next week, I will be streaming Sandhagen versus Font. So catch me there next Saturday. I'm out of here. Peace.